Hello and welcome back to Oversky Deck Pilot. This week we took a look at a cheap control deck based around the bargain archetype that uses a new Oversky card, Gemshell Tortoise. This deck's a lot of fun, bit funny on variants sometimes, but that's bargain by nature, and I go through all that in this episode, this week's episode of Deck Doctor. So if you'd like to know more about the deck, be sure to check that out. So let's take this deck for a spin on the ladder and see how it performs. Alright guys, into our first match, and what a fantastic hand this is. Divine Guardian and Gabrian Archon. So we're going to have our early collectors to start collecting Faeria straight away, and this is really, really important. We have expensive cards like Magnus, and getting down to Divine Guardian early on means it's when A, not going to be removed, and B, going to collect a lot of Faeria. So we can just do this, get it straight off to the right hand side, and we can just leave it there. Or alternatively, once we set up a little bit, we can move into the double collection spot. But we're gonna wait first. We'll have to see what our opponent decides to do. Our opponent might just decide now it's time to switch sides and challenge this Divine Guardian, or may feel that's too slow now this has been committed and start building down the left hand side. Probably going to be a water elemental. No surprise there. So yeah, Divine Guardian is going to collect. Very nice. Now I like a mountain here, and I think we'll go for it. So we'll take our mountains, like I said, because this sets up good mountains for the Ogre Battler. So the Ogre Battler can sit in front of our orb and make sure we don't take too much damage, and that's going to be Ogre Battler's main job. Or just kind of like a bulky creature to leverage, like a Faeria well, or just hold the line in a very specific part of the board. So coming up around here could be quite nice. And Tiki Caretaker going to empower this elemental preemptively, so playing around Flame Burst. Now, I do believe my opponent thinks that we're playing Blood Rain. Divine Guardian is a key card in that list. And if you did watch my Deck Doctor from last week, you'd know what I'm talking about. We're actually going to go for King Magnus this turn. And Crisscross is probably thinking, oh, okay, probably we didn't need a pre-buff. Still, dodging Flame Burst is worthwhile. Pre-buff in here is helpful. This can kill the Magnus in 2 hits. One more power up, the Magnus will live. Could be a Frogify. Frogify would be awful. Pay for Faeria to basically negate 6 Faeria of mine. But I'm not expecting a Frogify coming from a blue-green deck. But you never know. You can build blue-green in many, many ways. You can build tempo variants, you can build swallow variants, you can build more control and Tree of Everlife variants if you really want to. I have seen it done even after the nerf. You'd be surprised. One land away from Frog Tosser as well. It's going to pass. Alright. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Well, we'll take it. Where do I want Ground Shaker? I want Ground Shaker here, because I wanted to be able to step over next turn. If I was to play Ground Shaker here, it would have to move up, and it'd take an extra space to get in between the wells. We also block land development from our opponent going off into the right-hand side. So Magnus doing work right now. In some matchups, Magnus is going to be fantastic. In other matchups, Magnus is going to be awful. It's very hit or miss, this card. But it hit for us. It actually lined up perfectly with the Ground Shaker, making sure we could clear the Water Elemental and the Tiki Caretaker. And this can double collect for us next turn. Zip right up to this spot here. I can collect. I can take a lake, I can Windfall, then play an aggressive Archon as a 6/6. But our opponent does have a lot of Faeria. No Frog Tossers, not enough lands, unless... Oh, Ninja Toad's going to come down. I respect that. You know, double collecting, this only costs 2. Remove a problem. Beautiful. And making sure we don't get any aggressive lands. So we're going to move in. So I think I'm just going to go into the wells. I said this in Deck Doctor. Once you've gained board control, going into the wells is an option. Take the Windfall, take the Archon, and then I'm just going to pass. Because I want to play the Gemshell Tortoise, then play what I get from the Gemshell Tortoise, then Bold Bargainer. But if I hit Windfall on the Gemshell Tortoise, I can Bold Bargainer and reduce the Windfall down to 0, potentially. That is an option. Deepwood Grizzly in blue-green is not something you see very often. That's going to be a surrender from our opponent. Very powerful opener for us. Very hard for blue-green to deal with, especially going to our next turn. Going to Gemshell Tortoise, gaining a lot of cards, and just completely overwhelm our opponent. So, very quick one. Let's move on to the next. Alright guys, into our next match. Very quick victory there thanks to Magnus. We are truly blessed today. Divine Guardian in 2 opening hands. Cannot complain. And Red Devil to follow up as well. So we can go Mountain, Divine Guardian, Lake, Mountain, and then drop Red Devil. Probably about turn 4, I would say. There we go. Divine Guardian coming down. This is such a good opener for this deck. Like, I feel like the deck does so much better if you start with Divine Guardian, because getting that additional Faeria allows us to play more cards. If I didn't have the Divine Guardian in the previous game, I probably wouldn't have been able to play Magnus and have it line up the way it did. It's going to be a Wood Elemental. It's kind of nice to go second with this list because you can put your Divine Guardian on the other side. Awesome, okay. So we could really roll the dice here. We could go for a Mountain. And then we could Ogre Dance. And if we hit this guy, we get to play him next turn for 2. Alternative, I can just collect. And the next turn, I gain 3 Faeria, collect 1, take me up to 9, play a Mountain on the left-hand side, or more aggressively if I want to challenge this Wood Elemental, and then play the Red Devil and save the Ogre Dance for another target. I guess we'll see what our opponent gets up to. It looks like Crackthorn. Ooh. I don't mind aggressive Red Devil here. Elderwood Embrace is pretty sad though, but it does line up Firestorm for us. I do need to defend my Divine Guardian, so let's take this Axe Grinder spot. We'll go into the Red Devil. And then I guess we can Ogre Dance then. We hit the Firestorm. A little unfortunate there. I'd rather hit the Red Devil and have this cost 2. The next turn play the Red Devil and maybe draw a card if we need to. But like I said, a little vulnerable to removal, but it gives our Divine Guardian an extra turn. So probably just going to be a Cypher's Wrath here. Yeah. Cypher's Wrath into Ground Shaker, into Axe Grinder. Okay. And that is an Archon. So we can play Archon over here. Archon's a good defender for us. Kills the Axe Grinder. But I'd rather get the Red Devil down next turn. Divine Guardian's not going to get removed unless like a Crackthorn comes down and all the pings go to it. Like area of effect removal like Firestorm and Crackthorn do affect the Divine Guardian, but anything that targets it doesn't, which is what's important. Takes a draw, so Crackthorn can't be near. But we are almost at our beloved Gemshell Tortoise. So we can go Red Devil. This is now a 6/6 into the Archon. So even if the Divine Guardian does get cleared by the Axe Grinder, we can take value on the Archon and leave our Red Devil up. The sad thing is we do push ourselves away from a Gemshell Tortoise play, but we have a Firestorm to help leverage the board as well in case anything really big comes down. So if something big was to come down here, I can run the Red Devil into it. Double Flame Burst, that's a good investment for me, I'll take that. Into Elderwood Embrace. Oh wow, okay. 5, 2... We have to make it a special land anyway. So this is a Firestorm turn. It might seem a bit odd, but I want to remove this collector. Then we can get the Divine Guardian down. We go up to 3 next turn. Divine Guardian collects 1. We have initiative, which is going to be really nice. We can get them +1 into Gemshell Tortoise and use the Gemshell to protect our Divine Guardian. Because if a creature was to say come down in this spot, we can move Divine Guardian here, play Gemshell here. If creature was to come down here, we can play Gemshell here. Sagami and Crackthorn are a little problematic. Really? Really, Crackthorn? 1 to face, please? I don't ask for much in this world. So that's probably game. Like, I don't see how we get back from that. That was just nuts. I guess that makes up for last game with the crazy Magnus. Mountain Axe Grinder here is really sad. Or Forest Sagami. Go up to 3, Red Devil 5. What can Gemshell get us? With 1 Faeria, like double Archon? It's actually going to cover up the 1 slot there. Make sure we can't take it. So I have to taunt, which is miserable. Because I'm not going to be able to taunt anywhere good. So yeah, so that Crackthorn won the game for our opponent. Killing the Divine Guardian was huge there because I needed to, like, if I had Divine Guardian up and I could +1 into Gemshell, I would have been in a decent spot because I would have a 6/6 and I would have had the Divine Guardian to protect me for an extra turn. And things would have been okay, and I could have even Red Deviled into Archon instead if I didn't want to go for the Gemshell. Yeah, and there we go. So that goes to show like how these tempo-orientated decks can just run a train over slow control decks. So it's really unfortunate how that lined up. But I think that's a good example of like decks like Crackthorn, Yellow Tempo, Red Combat. Like these decks are so powerful and so fast. It's very difficult for a deck like Bargain to stabilize, especially if they get a Crackthorn like the one we just saw. Alright guys, into our next match. Magnus carried 1 game for me. Crackthorn carried 1 game for my opponent. I guess all is even in the world. And Divine Guardian once again, thank you very much. I am being very fortunate today in this episode, getting these Divine Guardians early. So what's next for our opponent? He's going to take a mountain. No Axe Grinder, no Horse Master. That's good news for us. So we can take a lake. We can collect. Next turn we collect mountain, Red Devil. All is good in the world. We can even line up an Archon here. It's going to be a Grimguard. But there is a Windfall. So I say we wait for the Windfall combo. Yeah, so we're gonna wait. We're gonna relax for a little bit. I showed this combo in the Deck Doctor in a clip. You basically Windfall into Red Devil, and then you're just very happy because you gain so much Faeria, and that's a farm boy. It's gonna fight my fight my Divine Guardian apparently. I should have played a mountain here. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I should have played a mountain here because I want to play Ogre Battler. I guess I can still shimmy this down. And I can maybe line up a Firestorm. So it's not too bad. It works out okay, I think. We can just go for Archon instead. Because Archon's a 6/6. So another beautiful thing about Red Devil Windfall is you create Archons into 6/6s. So all my Archons are 6/6s from now on. And this is turn 4. So having my Archons active, having their ability active by turn 4 is very powerful. I'm playing 4 Faeria for a 6/6. This kills Ground Shakers, Shedding Brutes, Underground Bosses. Lots of creatures that Archon can hit. I'm curious if we see Gift of Steel on Farm Boy and just kill the Guardian. That'd be pretty hilarious. I think I'd be on board with that. Although, open self up to Ground Shaker, which is a little sad. Farm Boy and a Farm Yak. Becca is in synergy with the deck. And this is a mythic Farm Boy. This is not a mythic Grimguard. I see what's going on here. I see there's a theme. I'm going to assume that Becca's favorite card is Farm Boy. Now there's Gift of Steel. Ground Shaker. Obelisk Tower. Ground Shaker. Clear. Now, we have the Firestorm ready now to take care of these two at least. Another Windfall. So we can take a mountain here so we can collect off this well. Collect off this well. Go into... We don't really need to go into Windfall this turn. Yeah, I think we're fine. I don't think we need to go into Windfall this turn. We can just keep it as a card. So if you don't need Windfall, don't use it, because it's better if it gets cost reduced. Also, it's just another card in your hand that your opponent must consider. That is a Brute. So there we go. So cost reduced in the Windfall. Very nice. Can actually take a draw now as well. Or do we move up mountain here? Yeah, actually, I prefer that. Move up, mountain here. Drop the Windfall. Drop the Battler. Then next turn, we can go into a draw. The sad thing about the mountain is we don't really play into the Gemshell Tortoise draw next turn. But I need the mountain on the right-hand side to collect and set up the Firestorm. So a little unfortunate there. But we do lock these two in and protect the Divine Guardian, just making sure this collector sticks around. It's very difficult to remove. And also, this guy actually defeats both of these. Oh, Magnus, how's it going? Oh, Ogre Dance, how's it going? I'll take the free cost Magnus. We can move this across, kill the Brute, set up the Magnus. And Magnus can now kill Ground Shaker. Or I can double neutral up and kill the Obelisk Tower, which would be very, very helpful. Oh, that might have been a misstep if there was if he Ground Shakered before, would have got the trigger off the Obelisk Tower. I think this is going to be a Ground Shaker, yeah. So a little bit of a misstep from Becca there. It's in 1 damage and 1 Faeria. But we're going to get some value here. We're going to hit this tower. Into Firestorm, very nice. And then want to take a Ground Shaker. I could have stepped over onto this mountain, actually. Yeah, I should have done that. This is probably going to die at the hands of a Cypher's Wrath, but I got 2 combat triggers from it. And actually hitting the Firestorm's pretty nice. Hitting another Ground Shaker as well, that's also... very, very good. Hellfire, uh-oh. Sad times. But we get an aggressive Ground Shaker this turn. Actually, we can... Yeah, we'll take the aggressive Ground Shaker. And then we'll follow up with the Red Devil next turn. Our opponent's Faeria starved at this point, so it's been very difficult for our opponent to come back. Especially when we have a Firestorm and a Red Devil. It's probably just a Cypher's Wrath, yep. Double neutral into a Farm Boy. He's going in. Farm Boy wants some. Oh, another Red Devil. Oh my goodness. Let's do it. Don't often build this many mountains, but I'm happy to here. Yeah. Kill the collector, why not? What can our opponent do on free Faeria? It's gonna be nothing, so we took another win. Awesome. So we're 2-1 currently. Let's see if we can take up the 3-1 or maybe even 4-1. We always play the best of 5. That seems to be a thing now. Yeah, let's see how we do in the next match. Alright guys, into our next match. Let's throw these two away. Let's keep the Ground Shaker. It is a turn 2 collector for us. No Divine Guardian this time. We've had it 3 games in a row. There had to be at least some point where we don't draw it, and it's going to be aggro. Now, I haven't played against aggro yet. So, this is going to be a new experience for me. It's going to be Explore Desert, potentially. So, yeah, I'd like to get set up, I think. Let's get a Ground Shaker down. Get our first creature, our first defender. Double Windfall in hand is clunky, especially with no bargain. If we pick up an Ogre Dance next turn and it hits a Windfall, it's going to be a really good spot. It's going to be a mountain. Alright, Red Rush is something I haven't played against in a very long time. Right, take Faeria. We pass. So this should collect another Faeria unless it gets double Flame Burst, which I very much doubt it. Explore. Into a Queen's Guard. So this is combat. Red Rush. The saddest of draws. Let's move this around. So we're gonna have to miss a Faeria to make sure we can kill this. But this can get Gift of Steeled, which puts us out of range of our Firestorm. Axe Grinder again puts us out of range of this Firestorm. We do have double Windfall coming up. I think we double Windfall first. Yeah, because we don't want... If my Ogre Dance doesn't... I guess we could Windfall, then Ogre Dance. That is an option. No. That still won't work. So we have to double... We have to double Windfall. And then Ogre Dance. We get a Gemshell Tortoise. Take the hit here, and then we'll take the Firestorm. So we're just doing a bit of damage control here. Hopefully we can go double Gemshell Tortoise. If we pick up something nuts, like what could we get? What could be really good off a double Gemshell Tortoise? Something that costs, something that's really cheap. Divine Guardians? Divine Guardians would be pretty good, actually. Gonna kill the Ground Shaker here. Go into another Axe Grinder. So if the Gemshell Tortoise isn't very good, we can hold off on the second one. Windfall would have been pretty insane, actually, because I could have Gemshell Tortoise into double Windfall, into Gemshell Tortoise, into double Windfall, and I could just draw cards for the rest of the game. So yeah, let's take our last lake. Let's go for the cheap one. That's pretty good. We'll keep this one. Yeah, I'm happy to keep this one. We should be able to collect off that well. Our opponent probably is just going to play a Ground Shaker. Maybe a Gyarados? Yeah, so we can kill this Ground Shaker now. Unless there's a taunt. Oh, this actually lines up perfectly for us. So we can hit this Ground Shaker. Then take a draw. So we can Windfall into Gemshell Tortoise next turn. And our Ground Shaker kills our opponent's Ground Shaker. It does block us from collecting. I'd love to pick up a Divine Guardian just to stick on the left to just harvest Faeria. So we'll probably see this run into our Ground Shaker, maybe a Cypher's Wrath, and then like an Axe Grinder. But if our opponent plays nothing, we're in a fantastic position. Oh, wow. So this takes us up to 12. Playing this, I can play this here. Oh, I could get Bomb Slingered. Let's play this here. Then we can go into Gemshell Tortoise. Oh my gosh. This is insane. This is why I like this deck. I can do nut stuff like this. Red Devil into Windfall into Red Devil into Gemshell Tortoise into 2 Archons. Imperial Drain. That's absolutely fine. Then we'll sit, so we can just sit on the mountain if we need to. Maybe just do this. And then this Archon can clear the Imperial Drain. Then we can move the Red Devil here. And then we have an aggressive Archon going in. This is going to be our win condition. Then we have Ogre Battlers as well. This might just be a surrender. Like I don't know how our opponent wins from here. We can move this back, slot Divine Guardian into double collection, and just wait. Now we can use the Red Devil as a defender, because the Divine Guardian is going to be double collecting for us on the left hand side. We're so set up. Well, we had some nuts turns, like the Gemshell Tortoises just lined up so well, and then we had that Windfall into the Red Devil. Absolutely nuts. Yep. Ogre Dance. Why not? I guess, do I want to play Battler instead? I mean, I can kill this with the Firestorm. Or I can just chuck an Ogre in front of it. Yeah, I'm just going to chuck an Ogre in front of it. And we're just going to punch it with the Archon. And then if another Gift of Steel comes down to clear the Ogre, we can then use the Red Devil to kill the Underground boss. Which may get a Firestorm out the hand, not the Firestorm, a Flame Burst out the hand to kill the Red Devil. Right, how do you ever kill this? This never dies. Red Rush never kills this. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, so we just do this. Take a lake. Play an Archon. And we just kill this. And that is game. There's no way that 2 6/6s can be cleared by Red Rush from this position. Could just play a Taunt, I guess. Bombslinger, Cypher's Wrath. And Cypher's Wrath, the own Bombslinger. And there we have it. So 3-1 with this list. We have 1 game remaining. Let's see if we can make it a win. Into our last match of this episode against COD Lackey, rank 5. Climbing the ladder, keeping Ground Shaker. Another Ground Shaker, another Ground Shaker, and a Windfall. So we've had a lot of success this episode with this deck. I enjoy it, I think it's really fun. The Gemshell Tortoise is amazing. And I'm a big fan of Red Devil. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Bargain, I do appreciate Red Devil. Because it's you know what you get from Red Devil. Red Devil's a clean-cut card. Now what do I want to do here? I can Ground Shaker. I gain 3. I lake, I collect. And then I Ground Shaker again on the follow-up. Alternatively, I could wait and play Bargainer. But I'm going to miss a Faeria. I think a Ground Shaker. On the opposite side, so this Ground Shaker should stay here and just chill and collect Faeria for me. It looks like Kodlaki's playing some kind of yellow flyer build. I'm interested to see what the build is like. Yeah, we get to collect. And Bold Bargainer has two great targets after we play the Ground Shaker. It's going to move into double collection, but we're going to take care of this. Probably a Manta Rider. Nope, just a pass. Okay. Take the lake. Go into the Ground Shaker. So we killed the double collector on the left-hand side, which limits the collection of our opponent. Opponent's on 12 Faeria, goes for a draw. You can take a lot of draws as a fly-in build. You generally use like mobility to get down the board, and you fly over the ocean tiles anyway, so it's not a big deal. Take a collection. Let's go for an Ogre Dance. Into a Bargainer. Okay. I guess we could take a draw now. Into the Firestorm. So this actually lines up really nicely for us, because if the Manta Rider on the left decides to take care of the Ground Shaker, we're going to be able to clear the Manta and this with a follow-up Firestorm. Let's see what gets played. It's not enough desert for a Windborn champion, so I don't have to worry about that. It's going to be a Sky Captain. And a pass. Ooh, hello Gemshell Tortoise. We're going to take a lake here for our Archon. Move this up so it can't double collect. And start applying pressure. And then we're just going to relax. And wait. And next turn we can go into Windfall, into Gemshell Tortoise, and go from there. If more creatures hit the board, Firestorm could get more value. So that's another potential thing we could do. I can also move the Ground Shaker up if need be. That's going to be a 4/4. So the Sky Captain's starting to get some good value here, but it didn't trigger on that one, which is good for us. So Windfall, 15, take a Mountain, we'll move up. Play a Gemshell Tortoise behind. See what we hit. Double Windfall. Alright. I don't want to play these yet. I don't need to. I think I'm happy here to Firestorm. Yeah, let's take the Firestorm. Just to get rid of the 5/2 to make sure this Ground Shaker can at least challenge the Sky Captain or force it away from the double collection position. I don't mind if these trade, that's fine. I have the Bold Bargainer to collect off the left-hand side for me. I can even slot in a Divine Guardian here. I'm going to get some value off the Smile. I might have to wait for like a good double Firestorm at some point. Oddly enough, I feel like I should be the aggressor here. Demon Wing. Maybe I should have kept on to the Firestorm. Kind of regret it now. I'm going to go for an Ogre Battler. I'm going to move this up to clear the Air Elemental, then play a Divine Guardian behind it. So Divine Guardian is going to be our collector on the left-hand side. And we've got like a conga line of big bodies going up the right-hand side of the board. We're gonna start applying some pressure, I think, because this will just create so much value in the long term. We might not be able to match it if we're not careful. Moves over. Where's this going? Oh, there could be a Flash Wind. Yep, gonna go for the Divine Guardian. Oh, come face. Okay. I didn't expect that. Oh, Last Nightmare's very dangerous. Oh, never smile. The value. Got some value of our own. Now I'd love to be able to play an Ogre Battler here, but the mountain has been taken. And that is a problem. Yeah, so... we have a lot of guys on board, lots of big bodies, but Yellow Flyers can probably outmaneuver us. We do need to apply pressure very soon. I'm even really tempted to take double neutral here. Oh, the Ionis Smile! Luckily it's one Sky Captain. If it was two Sky Captains, it would be in a much worse situation. Last Nightmare isn't that bad. We can take care of the Demon Wing with the Red Devil. Where's this going? Very nice. Code Lackey's playing this so well. Fantastic so far. Another Sky Captain. That's what I want to see. Alright. Take care of this. Start moving these up. Let's get a Gemshell Tortoise here as well. See what we find. 2 Divine Guardians. That's one of the worst hits we can get in this kind of matchup. But we do have a lot of ways to stop us from dying, so the long game is looking in our favor. And Kodlaki's actually drawn a lot of cards, so I might actually wall up here. I might actually go for fatigue. Takes another draw. Yeah, we're gonna start defending. There's no real reason for us to be aggressive. I mean, I'll continue the aggression with this guy and this guy, but I'll probably drop a Divine Guardian here next turn. Because I still have to respect this Celestial Tower. Firestorm. Doesn't really line up for us right now. Let's take a draw. Firestorm, okay. So how about we don't go in anymore? Let's retreat. We can just play for fatigue now and force our opponent to come to us. I wanted to be aggressive at the start, but those triple Iona's Smile gave us a win condition. And I want to force our opponent to invest a lot into the board before I decide to double Firestorm. I do have Divine Guardians to keep me alive, but also just block my orb. Just stick them in front. They can't be targeted by removal, so they're just going to be very annoying for our opponent to deal with. Born Champion. Take care of the Ground Shaker. Again, I want my opponent to invest more into the board before I do anything. I think I'm just going to take a mountain here. Stick a Divine Guardian there, and then just stick a Red Devil here. Yeah. We're just the great wall of red guys. A little bit of blue as well in the mix. Ideally, I want the Manta Rider to break open first before I go for a double Firestorm play. I'm just curious if any more will be invested or an attack will be made this turn. Yeah, they're elemental. +1. Pass. So we can still draw cards. We're absolutely fine. Let's get another Gemshell Tortoise into the mix. Why not? Ogre Battlers for days. Oh my word. Yeah, let's chill. Fatigue is going to become a problem at some point. And we got the one Divine Guardian in the bottom left here. Hidden away. Hidden behind a massive wall of turtles and devils. Then we got this Taunter protecting Divine Guardian from this attack. So we're forcing this to attack it instead, which is wasting 7 damage. This is like the most damage can be pumped out. And I could even like move this up, move this around, move this down and play a Red Devil here. And then I can protect my Divine Guardians even more. But I'm pretty happy. I've got another in hand. I've got more on my deck as well. But I need to be conscious of my Faeria. I need to make sure I have enough Faeria to double Firestorm when I want to. Alright, I think this might be the first attack. Let's have a look. Protecting the Sky Captain, which is fair. That's not enough of a commitment for me to want to pull the trigger on the double Firestorm yet. Ground Shaker's pretty nice here. Actually, I think this might be it. No, I think I need one more turn. Yeah, let's move this up. Let's move this across. This can come in and kill this guy. Let's take +1. Let's take another Divine Guardian here. So this Divine Guardian's protecting this Divine Guardian from the Manta killing it. So this is 4 life, so it survives both of these creatures currently. And we want to be able to play Ground Shaker, Firestorm to crack this open, and then Firestorm on the follow-up. So we kill the little Manta as well. So we get a full clean up, and we'll kill the Windborn Champion now. And I could play the Ground Shaker aggressively once we clear the board. I can take a mountain in this spot, and then I have 5 damage that potentially goes to the orb. Our opponent is going to be bleeding out from the fatigue damage. We're actually going to be a Faeria short for that combo. And we won't be able to play the mountain as well. Collect. Maybe another champion. Another champion would be nice. Because I want to kill as many champions as possible. Flash Salmon. Interesting. going to cycle even more cards. Alright, this is it. This is our moment. Oh, wait. No, 6, 12, 18. Alright, this is it. I can play this here now. It doesn't really matter. Oh, it's beautiful, guys. Boom, 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 boom. And next we can go mountain into Ogre Battler here, or we can go lake into Archon. I'll probably take the mountain because I have more red creatures. An 8/5 Demon Wing. That's a big boy. Now we start to apply the pressure. Last card from Kodlaki here. I don't know if he has enough firepower to punch through my wall of Divine Guardians and Taunts. That can just be a nightmare. Celestial Tower Flashwind. And that's going to be it. So the Iona Smile actually ended up being more of a problem than anything. It gave me an alternate wing condition. So, yeah, it was interesting because I thought that the flying deck would eventually outvalue me, but because of the so many Iona Smiles so early, I was able to wall up because we were both very hesitant about moving in on each other. I did make this little push up here, and then I looked at the card count. I was just like, Mill, we're just going to wait, and we had all the resources in the world to wait Taunts, Divine Guardians, so it actually tipped the tide in our favor in the end. But well played. We went 4-1 with this deck. Very impressed with how it's performed. That wraps up this episode of Oversky Deck Pilot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had some great matches today, and I've been very impressed with how this deck has performed. It's a lot of fun, so make sure you give it a go. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. We just had the Faeria monthly cup, so if you'd like to see some competitive matches, head over to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/FaeriaTV, or check back on this YouTube channel throughout next week, and we'll have all the VODs up for you. Thanks again for watching, and enjoy Blue-Red Gemshell Tortoise.